a few of the projects weren't able to be here this evening, so I'll just say something about those projects. But just to say overall, all of the projects from 2016 have reported to me and have submitted all their receipts for expenditure and photographs where that's appropriate, which is really important to show the public what has been done with the funding. And also I think increases your chances for next time having the public having seen what you have done. So it is really important. So sorry I might pester a bit for reports, but thank you to you all. The first one, so Viva Wales. They're working with children and young people, and their £500 grant was actually just over £400, was used to provide arts and crafts supplies. And it included, they asked the young people what they particularly like, and they bought some kits for jewellery making and making bags and t-shirt designs. And they really felt that the young people, it helps them with their confidence, helps them with their self-esteem through play and through arts and crafts. So they were very grateful for the funding.
Salvation Army.
The funding we received last time around 2 years ago was used to buy tables for our parent and toddler group. It takes place on a Monday morning, and we have between 20 and 25 children, along with one of the parents or guardian, grandparent. And so we were able to get tables for them of an appropriate height for them, for the different activities they do during the sessions. They have snacks, they play games, and you know, a parents and toddlers group, you know what they do. And so we really appreciate that, because we're able to get the tables for them to help them with the group. So thank you. And if you'd like to come along on a Monday morning, we're there 10:30 till 12. I think there's room on the register to add 1 or 2 more, but you know where we are. Thank you very much.
Next now is Ron the Chess Club.
Thank you very much to the wind farm for the donation for 2 years ago. It enabled us to replace all our old kit for the chess team, and it's been a big help, and we actually got 2 sides in the league this year now as opposed to 1, so thank you very much.
Next now is Ron the Lawn Tennis Club.
Dwi ddim yn gwybod os dwi'n gallu siarad gyda bwyd yn yng Ngheg, and I don't know if I can speak with food in my mouth. Forgive me. Well, there are a number of activities going on in the tennis club, and indeed the funding that we've received in the past has been of an immense help. We've been refurbishing the clubhouse, which is in Ystradechan Park, and it's rather important in as much that we're able to offer as warm a welcome, a warm Rhondda welcome indeed, to the various clubs who come from the length and breadth of Wales. We've had various grants, not apart from the wind farm, and we've managed to re-roof it, new ceilings and new lighting, and we are continuing to well, make as much progress as we possibly can. We offer coaching, as I said earlier, to well, all age groups, starting with youngsters of some 5 years of age up to adults. And this is an important aspect of the club in as much as we are developing well, future talent. We offer we offer the members the opportunity to become coaches, and we have to date 3 young members and they have achieved the UKCC Level 2 and Level 3 coaching awards. And that is, well, really, they've really done well. And one of them is the actual club coach at the moment. Unfortunately, life has taken the other two to other parts of Wales, but they still have an opportunity to play at the club. So the wind farm, indeed, and you know, whatever the club has received in the past is a wonderful, what shall I say, a wonderful gift to the club and of immense help. Many, many thanks. Diolch yn fawr.
Next now is Treorchy.
Hello. So it's absolutely fantastic that we received the 500 we did earlier, but I really want to explain to you what we did with our past amounts of money. So we received £1,000 in 2016 for a year's worth of Tickled Pink. So in case you're wondering what that is, they're a professional outfit that sing and perform. They're specifically designed for care homes. We had a fantastic time. As you can imagine, some of our residents haven't been outside the home for some of them for 5 years. So to actually bring performing artists with a stage, who are truly professional actors and singers, is absolutely, to see their faces is wonderful. And to see an 81-year-old man playing an air guitar to ABBA is absolutely, well, it's a delight. And our other amount of money, which was awarded by the Wind Farm Trust and by you good people for voting for us, was for chair aerobics and Tai Chi. Now this has been a game changer for us. The activity has actually benefited our residents in so many ways. They are more aware. I don't know if any of you know anyone with dementia or Alzheimer's, and it's a very difficult thing to see your family member going through this, but we have had family members there doing the exercises with us. It's inspired me to go on and do a course myself, so I'm actually able to continue with the chair aerobics. And again, unless you have seen a young man of 89 and a young woman of 96 doing Gangnam Style, you ain't seen nothing. Thank you very much, all of you, for voting for us, and to Helen and Richard for being who you are. Thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr.
Next now is Dylan Sten.
Hiya. 2 years ago, Dylan's Den was lucky enough to have 2 awards from the Wind Fund, and both of them made a huge difference. And Dylan's Den has been really lucky to be supported by the Wind Fund on 3 separate occasions, so that kind of consistent funding has really been immensely helpful for us as an organisation. The first award was for a small capital project. The windows in our building were leaking and we needed to repair them. And the grant for just under £500 allowed us to refurbish that area, make it safe. It also allowed us to put up blinds, which made the whole area much more comfortable for the children that use it. The other grant that we had was for assisted places, and we have been awarded assisted places again. This is a really, really important programme that we run at Dylan's Den, and as I said before, there are a lot of local families that find childcare very, very hard to access. It's expensive, and no more so than people who are desperate to get back into the workplace, who want to take part-time work, because although there's help out there for childcare, if you're only working a limited number of hours, it's very, very difficult to access that. So the assisted places funding that we had last time allowed us to help 125 or provide 125 assisted places to local families, which has made a huge impact on them. And I'm just really delighted that once again the Wind Fund and the people of Treorchy have awarded us a similar amount of money so that we can keep that wonderful programme going. So thank you very much.
Actually, and it has enabled us to employ or to pay a tutor to attend once a month, and enabled us to get transported to the Quilting Festival at Malvern in May. And we get ideas at Malvern and from our tutor, and we've made quillos and work bags, we've made quilts, Christmas decorations, toys, numerous things. And we have in our midst now a gentleman, and I think he's enjoying it. I don't know whether he's enjoying the female company or whether he's enjoying the quilting, but I know he's made a lot of items for his family. And we're very grateful to Helen and Richard for the money we're receiving from the wind farm. Thank you very much.
Next now is Act 1 Theatre.
It's me again. They're very sorry that no one was able to come tonight, but Act 1 Theatre Group, who've recently taken over running of the Phoenix Theatre, and they had 2 grants. One was for £500 to get an industrial sewing machine to make costumes and adjust costumes, and the other was a £1,000 grant to buy guardrails to make the stage decking safer, and I've got a little piece to read out. This is from Phil D, the Treasurer. I would like to thank Treorchy Wind Fund for the grants we have been awarded over the past few years, and to the public for their ever so important votes. Act 1 are 10 years old this March, and without grants like this, Act 1 would not have got where they are today. Last year, Act 1 took on the lease of the Phoenix Theatre and are currently doing their best to improve the venue for all to use. Again, we would like to thank you all and apologise for not being able to attend. We hope to see you again in 2 years' time.
Okay, Treorchy Comprehensive School. I'll just carry on then. Treorchy Boys and Girls Club. Come on, Ellen.
You will understand, Mr. Brian. Thank you. I'm coming here blind, unfortunately, because I'm not quite sure what they had. Training kit for under 5s team. I think that's quite self-explanatory. Bouncy castle and soft play equipment. I can comment on that because they've been very helpful with on the radio when we've done events and let us borrow the bouncy castle they bought. It goes back into what I said earlier about them being self-sustainable and being able to offer equipment and the venue for parties for children there. The third one, concrete path outside. Oh yeah, I think this was to do with the Boys Club of Wales to allow the football teams to play in the leagues. I might be wrong, yeah, but please forgive me if I am. I believe if they were to play in the leagues for the Welsh boys clubs, they had to have a barrier around the football field. There wasn't one there before. Now that has been installed. I think there are a few problems with the ground sinking in some parts, but that's enabled them now to enter the leagues. And then the other one, £5,000 was the kitchen. I think I explained earlier they've had a kitchen installed, but they was missing the floor, so that's what that was. I'm sorry about that, but I wasn't involved with that really. But before I go, it isn't about the Boys Club. I'd just like to thank Helen and Richard. This is quite a unique scheme. As Richard explained earlier, there's plenty of wind farms and they've got community benefit funds associated with them. But it's been a pleasure to work with Richard and Helen. It's democratic. The people in the community vote for the projects they want. It just goes to show support for the projects here tonight. And I'm sure the ones that didn't get the money, they're all very well deserving. and it is difficult to put yourself out there, as Richard said. So I'd just like to congratulate everybody who's been awarded grants tonight. It's a testament to the work they do in the community. Okay, thank you.
Next now is Ystravodic Arts Society.
The Arts Society wanted to refurbish their kitchen area. They had just one sink, and they were using that for cleaning all their brushes and equipment, and also doing their washing up from all their refreshments and things. So they wanted to refurbish the area, and I think they had someone in the club who was able to fit a kitchen, so the £500 went quite far in being able to buy 2 new sinks and the cupboards they needed. And so they're very happy with the new kitchen they have.
Next one now is Cylch Maithrin Treorchy.
I know Melanie wasn't sure whether she'd be able to make it or not. And I know that some of you may know that they're not actually running now. I'm not sure whether they'll be able to start up again or not, but the previous grant was used for sensory equipment for children with additional learning needs, and I know have some experience of that and how valuable and beneficial it is, so they were very grateful for that.
The next now is Ysgol Ynys Wen. Last time we had 3 grants. The first one was for a Welsh books, reading books and comprehensive books. Welsh books are hard to come by. They cost a lot more than English books, and also a lot of them are quite dated, so we don't get modern books quite often. The second grant we did an outside learning area. We've got a centre in the middle of the school. And now the children can go out, have stories. There's 100 square on the wall. Chalk is a safe environment for the children to go to. And our third grant was for an interactive whiteboard in the foundation phase. So nearly all of our classes now have an interactive whiteboard. So we are slowly getting up with the rest of the valleys with our IT. But thank you very much. Okay, Ron the Jazz next.
Come on, Madge. Where are you?
Madge.
Oh, she's by the bar again.
Thank you, well, that's kind.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. You didn't have to walk down here. Anyway, I must say, I'm so pleased to be able to say how thank you I am to Richard Helen. How thank you. He's picking me up my English again. He's giving too much to drink, too much to eat, too much to eat. No, I just like to say how grateful we are for the grants, because we managed to get some international people to it. In fact, next month, in March, we're supposed to be having one of Country Arthur singers with us, beginning of March. And a brilliant singer, wasn't she? You've got to say yes, come on. And she was coming over, she's been over for 4 or 5 years now. She just loved coming to Treorchy. I can't do an American accent. But she rang me 3 weeks ago and she said, I can't wait, and she died, unfortunately, last week. Brilliant singer she was, absolutely brilliant. But we've got some great artists coming, and last week we had Jeff Hooper. I don't know if you know Jeff Hooper. He was brilliant. And Strictly Come Dancing, apparently I got one of the singers on Strictly Come Dancing, the man, the gentleman, and he's coming again with us. So there's loads of music going on there. If you'd like to come along, you're welcome to run the Treorchy Rugby Club. I must say they're brilliant. And okay, tell me to stop. Thank you all very much. Richard, Helen, thank you very much, and Alice as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, next now is Park Primary School.
Thank you again to the Treorchy Wind Fund. We were very fortunate to receive 4 grants again last year. One was the development of our school library for both English and Welsh books, the new seating area and new shelving, which was grateful. We were grateful for because the books kept falling off the shelves otherwise. It's enabled our children to borrow books from our own library because some of them can't access Treorchy Library, unfortunately. Again, we bought sports kits for both the football, the rugby and the athletics team. It gave our pupils a renewed sense of pride turning up in their new gear and when they were attending the sporting events. We also purchased some outdoor clothing for our foundation fairs. As you know, we don't live on the Sunshine Coast. A lot of the time our foundation fairs are out in the rain. So this has been gratefully, we're very grateful for it.
As Helen said, we were lucky to have 4 grants last year. So one of the ways we spent the money was we bought loads of puzzles and games for the children to play when it's wet playtimes. Because like Helen said, around the weather, we have a lot of wet playtimes. So there's lots of games and activities for them to do. And the other thing we done, we managed to have a family engagement room put into the school. So with the money, we bought some furniture, we bought some activities, and now the parents can come into school. They can partake in the room, can't they use the room? We have boxes for them to take home to do activities with their children over the weekend. We have parent workshops going on where they can learn to do the literacy numeracy with their children. So there's so much more engagement, and it's really helped our school and it's really helped our community. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, next now is Upper on the 50 plus 4.
Members of Upper on the 50 Plus Forum have again benefited from the Treorchy Wind Fund grant. The £1,000 has enabled us to fund a suitable venue for meetings and to provide members with transport to events throughout the year, to encourage the elderly and disabled out of isolation. The funding is also used for the day-to-day running costs that cover printing and stationery. This provides information relevant to the elderly and disabled, especially the ones that do not have access to the internet. It also helps to fund posters to advertise meetings and the 50 plus discount card, which is available to everyone over the age of 50 that resides in RCT. The Upper on the 50 plus Forum members would like to thank the Treorchy Wind Fund for recognising the voluntary work that is carried out by its officers, and a big thank you to the people who gave their time to vote for them. The aim of the 50 Plus Forum is to continue its work and reach out to help more elderly people in our community out of isolation. Thank you.
Upper on the brass band now.
Diolch, thank you. Basically, the key theme tonight is how grateful I think everyone, including myself, is in the room for this money. So 2 years ago, it flew relatively quick. We were lucky enough to have 2 grants. First for 2 new trombones, which we put to very, 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 very good use. We had thirds, firsts, and we got promoted. So I won't tell you that they were magic trombones, but we did use them very gratefully. And also our second grant then was Biddyfoot again. I'll give you a little bit of an insight of what Biddyfoot will entail. Yes, we take a load of bus full of kids, and only about 25, 30 of us go up, and we compete. And the experience that you get, really, I can't truly put into words, but I can put it in perspective. I've been doing this now for about 12 years, and I'm currently now pursuing a career in the military as a musician. And I think it's because of people like this and opportunities like this, I wouldn't be where I am today. So it's just a massive thank you. And for the windmill again, because without this money, without people helping us constantly, you know, it really helps everyone. So yeah, massive thank you, and put on the brass band, guys. Thank you.
Igloran next.
Right, as I explained when I spoke previously, the simple aim of applying for this fund is to enable us to have colour editions of the newspaper. It makes a big difference. The newspaper is distributed in the Upper Valley here, but it goes all over the world. I think the furthest it goes is Norfolk, Virginia. But people, the diaspora, the exiles from the Rhondda receive the paper every month. And we also have a network of salespeople in the streets, in Treorchy. The schools support us, and it does make a difference. Father Christmas isn't the same in black and white at all, and we are able at key times in the year to bring out these colour editions. And needless to say, our photographers are extremely grateful for that support, and we are extremely grateful also to the community for support, not just for the last 2 or 3 years, for the last 40 years, and also the people who have from month to month, every month, supplied us with local news, articles, local history, all sorts of things, the things that gel a community together. Our local newspapers are becoming far, far unlocal over the last couple of years. The Rhondda Leader now covers a very, very wide area and has very, very few reporters who are able, for example, with the council, we found that important things happening in the community are not being reported very, very, very often. So on a small scale, we are able to do that. Must be the editor phoning me, I think. But thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr iawn I chi am eich cefnogaeth. And we're extremely grateful to Richard and to Helen over a number of years. It might be somebody wanting to give you an OBE or something. But thank you very much for your support to the Gloran, and may the wind farm or the wind fund continue as long as the wind blows. Diolch yn fawr.
Okay, next now is Treorchy RFC Mini and Junior.
Okay, right, as I mentioned earlier on, the money that we received 2 years ago has gone to basically indoor training and wet weather training for our age group rugby in Treorchy. We currently have 7 age groups, probably I think it's about 160 children altogether, and we go indoors from I think it's half term of November through to half term of February, basically just to keep them dry and to keep the children together as well, because if they don't go indoors, basically they don't train because of the weather that we have, we can't get on the field, etc, etc. So it keeps them together, keeps them fit, active, and with quite a lot of success actually. Just give a quick insight. The Treorchy under 12s and under 14s last year both won the Blues Cup competition, which is run annually, and this year, the current year 12 and the current year 13 are in the quarterfinals of the Blues Cup. So the training that we put in and the time that we put in, obviously with the help of the money that we get, makes a big success in our young rugby stars for the future. We've got a couple of sort of notable players have come through the ranks. Macaulay Cook is one, plays the Cardiff Blues in the Welsh Cup, and there's a young lad by the name of Thomas Williams who's just been called up to the Welsh team. He's basically a Treorchy ex-player. So the money that we get has been put to good use over the years, and we really do appreciate this. So thank you very much to the Wind Farm, and let's say long may your support be there. Thank you very much. Very quickly, I've been asked, Andrew, the chairman, has had to leave. There's an event down in the club that he's had to go to. The main club has had a grant last the 2 years ago in relation to putting the roof right on the club. Basically, it's not a glamorous thing, but basically they had I think it was £5,000 awarded to go towards the repair of the roof over the lounge. That work has been done. Obviously, it keeps all the patrons nice and dry as well now, so they can drink in and celebrate the success that Treorchy has had over the last few years as well. They won the league last year. I don't know if anybody knows that, but very successful season last year. Once again, thank you very much to the Wind Farm and for your money. And again, we do really appreciate it in the club. So again, thank you very much, everyone.
Okay. Next now is Park Community Association.
The Community Association couldn't be here this evening, but they used their grant of just over £2,300 to buy new computer equipment. And with that, they were able to run literacy classes, and the Job Club used the facilities every week for job searches, and also for after-school computer clubs. And while I'm up here, I'm not sure where the lady from Treorchy Comprehensive School went, but their grant was for £500 for running cookery classes, which they did for a term with families. So parents were able to come in with their children and help teach the children how to cook. But I think the idea was also to help families to learn how to cook and about healthy eating.
Last on my list now is Run the Tunnel Society.
Hi. Hello, hi, I'm Tony Moon, I'm Project Secretary of the Run the Tunnel Society. Anyway, we're going to show you what we did with our grant last time. We've got a promotion video. Just to say, when we launched it about 2 or 3 weeks ago on YouTube, we got 1,043 people went and saw it immediately over that first week. 7% of them were all around the world, the rest were in the UK. So we're very pleased with that response. It's really given us something to take forward and take the project onto a next stage. But before we do that, we want to show you just a very few photos which we took inside the tunnel in December. We had an expert photographer there, and I think you'll see what a wonderful tunnel, what a wonderful resource we've got on our doorstep here. It's going to be Europe's longest walking and cycling tunnel. It's already getting a lot of news in the national press, and it will be a superb resource to complement everything else that's going on in Treorchy. Thank you. Oh, you're right, we'll carry on. Okay, that's inside the, well, you can see it's inside the tunnel now. Let me come back over here then. Right. And you can see, basically there's a lot of old copper wiring on the floor, but you can see there's not a brick out of place in that tunnel.
Sorry. Bear with me a second. There you go. Sorry.
There you are. Right. Carry on, George. And the next, there you are. That's, there's a sort of, in the middle of it, there's a big cavern, which we'll probably use for having Father Christmas and ghost trains and things like that going to when it's opened. Oh, you've got the clicker there. Very good. Right. And this one was look at the roof of it. There's not a brick out of place. No one's been in that, hasn't had any maintenance on it for the last 50 years or so. There we are. Now the tiny little light you can see in the distance isn't the open end. It's not. That was another group. That was Steve actually. Steve and his gang. While we were walking down the tunnel, they were well over a mile away at that point, gradually walking towards us. And there we all are. This where the two groups met. Now, if you count the number of shadows and the number of people, there's a story going around that some of the miners who built it were looking on over us and wishing us good luck. So that's the last one, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Let's have a look at what we did with the wind farm fund last time.
Okay, if you bear with me a second, I got to find it.